Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, December 26, 2025. NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, soccer, college basketball on this day. News and notes, best bet, and the Fab Five. All right, we'll start with the NFL. We'll go over the Christmas results and look ahead to tomorrow and Sunday's games. Three very interesting results. Obviously, Cowboys over the Commanders 30-23. Cowboys 7-8-1. Washington 4-12. So Dallas with a chance to finish 500 on the season. Vikings over the Lions 23-10. Vikes 8-8. Detroit 8-8. So we'll see if either of those teams finish over 500. And the Broncos over the Chiefs 20-13. Denver 13-3. KC 6-10. All right, we have two games tomorrow. 4:30 on the NFL Network. Texans Chargers. My line is the Chargers by 3.5, total 41 and 11/20. Couple of guys injured on both sides. Nobody like they'll blow your socks off. 1.5 and 39.5. I think that is very low. The total is very low as well. I'm happy I have a bigger edge on the over because I like watching the Texans. So I'm gonna pick the over 39.5 for this one. 8 o'clock on Peacock, Ravens, Packers, battle of backup quarterbacks. I have Packers by 7, total 45. And for Vincent, it's 3.5 and 38.5. That is way too low. The total is way too low as well. But I'm going to go with the over. And then on to Sunday, which we have some really good games, and we have some toilet bowl games as well. We have two really gross toilet bowl games, by the way. All right. Actually, no, this isn't the third one. Never mind. 1 o'clock on Fox, Cardinals, Bengals. My line is Cincinnati by a whopping 14.5, total 51 and 7/10. And it is 7 and 53.5. I love the Bengals minus the 7 with all the guys the Cardinals have out. On CBS, Steelers, Browns. This is not a poop bowl. It's a poop fecta, according to Bill Simmons. And I would have this in Poopfecta too, but this isn't a toilet bowl Poopfecta. My line is Steelers by 7, total 43 and 17/20. And it's 3 and 34.5. I don't know why it's that low. I don't know why the total's that low either. I love the over in that game. It's like Aaron Rodgers hurt or something. Here's one of the two toilet bowls. Saints Titans. Mine's the Titans by 2, total 41 and 11/20. And it is Saints 2.5, total 39.5. I like the Titans plus 2.5 and plus 126 to win straight up. Also on Fox, Jaguars Colts. Mine's Jags by 6, total 49 and 7/10. And it is 5.5 and 48.5. That's a hard one. Slight over. Bucks Dolphins on Fox. My line is the Bucks by 5, total 46 and 19/20. It says 5.5 and 44.5. Over. Patriots Jets on Fox. Mine's Pats by 12, total 47.25. And it is 13.5 and 42.5. Over. Love the over. I don't know why that's that low. Seahawks Panthers on CBS. Mine's the Seahawks 2.5, total 44 and 17/20. It's 7.5 and 42.5. That is way too high. Give me the Panthers plus 7.5. That's way too high. Only two 4 o'clock games this week. Weird. First one's on CBS, 4:05. Giants, Raiders. Mine's the Raiders 3.5, total 44 and 3/10. I think the Giants are favored. Yeah, they are. Because the Raiders don't have all their key guys. The Giants are 2.5, total 40.5. Last time the Giants were favored in a game, they lost outright to Washington. So 6-point differential. I'm taking the Raiders plus 2.5 and plus 126 to win outright. 4:25 on Fox. Eagles Bills. Mine's the Bills 3.5, total 47 in the 5th, and it's 1.5 and 44.5. I'm gonna go with the over. I think that is a really low total. And last but not least, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 NBC, Bears 49ers. My line is 49ers by a half, total 48 and 2/5. 53 and 52.5. I like the under a lot. Boy, I really think that I'm going to be struggling with Fab 5. That's for sure. Now I'm going to go over the college football from the last couple of days, and then we'll look ahead to today and the weekend. Tuesday, the Boca Raton Bowl, Louisville over Toledo, 27-22. New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky over Southern Miss, 27-16. And the Frisco Bowl, Ohio over UNLV, 17-10. Christmas Eve, the Hawaii Bowl, Hawaii over Cal, 35-31. Hawaii comes back and wins that one. All right, so we have a lot of bowl games coming up this weekend. All right, today, 1 o'clock, ESPN, the Game Above Sports Bowl. Central Michigan and Northwestern from Ford Field. So a little bit of a home field advantage for Central Michigan. My line is Northwestern by 3, total 44 and 19/20. And it is 12.5 and 42.5. I'm going to take Central Michigan plus 12.5. That is a lot of points. 4:30, ESPN, the Rate Bowl. New Mexico and Minnesota. My line's a pick'em in 48 and 11/20, and it's Minnesota 1.5, total 43.5. I like the over. I think that's an extremely low total. And the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, FIU UTSA from Dallas at Gerald Ford Stadium. That is, I think, SMU Stadium. And by the way, the Cure Bowl is obviously in Arizona, where the Cardinals, or I'm sorry, where the Diamondbacks play. And then, obviously, the other one's at Ford Field, which you talked about. My line for the First Responder Bowl, FIU by 2.5, total 60.25. And it's UTSA 4.5, total 61.5. Give me FIU plus 4.5 and plus 168 to win the game straight up. Okay, on this Saturday, 11 o'clock on ESPN, the Gold Bowling Military Bowl from Annapolis, Pitt, ECU. My line is Pitt by 7, total 56 and 9/10. And it's 10.5 and 52.5. Over. Next up, the Pinstripe Bowl from Yankee Stadium, Penn State, Clemson. That's at noon on ABC from Yankee Stadium. My line is Clemson 1.5, total 51.5. And it's 2.5 and 47.5. Over. Next up is the Fenway Bowl, 2:15 on ESPN, UConn Army. My line is UConn by 6, total 53 and 3/5, and it's Army 7.5, total 42.5. I know UConn has a lot of opt-outs and stuff, but that's a ridiculous line. Give me UConn plus 7.5 and plus 235 to win the game outright. UConn's had a dream year, and I don't understand why Army's that big of a favorite. Even with the UConn opt-outs. Next up is the Pop-Tarts Bowl, 3:30 ABC, number 22, Georgia Tech against BYU from Orlando. My line is BYU 4.5, total 54.5. And it's 3.5 and 55.5. Slight lean BYU. Don't feel good about it, though. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, 4:30 on the C-Dub. Miami of Ohio, Fresno State. My line's Fresno State 7.5, total 46 and 17/20. It's 5.5 and 41.5. That's a low total. I like the over. The New Mexico Bowl, 5:45 on ESPN, number 25, North Texas and San Diego State from Albuquerque, where New Mexico plays. My line is North Texas by 4.5, total 53.5, and it's 6.5 and 53.5. Give me San Diego State plus the points. I think that's a little high. The Gator Bowl, number 19, Virginia against Missouri on ABC. That's obviously from Jacksonville. My line's Virginia 3.5, total 52 and 3/20, and it's Missouri 4.5, total 44.5. The over's an interesting call, but so is taking Virginia. Hang on. I'm going to actually take Virginia plus the 4.5 and plus 154 outright. And last but not least, the Texas Bowl, 9:15 on ESPN. LSU number 21 Houston. Mountains Houston by 8, total 45 and a 10th, and it's 1.5 and 41.5. That's extremely low. Give me Houston minus 1.5. I don't think LSU's trying. I think LSU is that sure of a dog because of the Lane Kiffin hype. Give me Houston all the way. Now we'll go over the NBA games from Tuesday and yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. So Tuesday, Hornets over the Wizards 126-109. Sixers lose at home to the Nets 114-106. Bulls over the Hawks 126-123. Cavs over the Pelicans 141-118. Bucks over the Pacers 111-94. Raptors over the Heat 112-91. Mavs over the Nuggets 131-130. T-Wolves over the Knicks 115-104. Spurs over the Thunder 130-110. Suns over the Lakers 132-108. Grizzlies over the Jazz 137-128. Magic over the Blazers 110-106. Pistons over the Kings 136-127. And the Clippers over the Rockets 128-108. Christmas Day. Knicks come back from 17 down to beat the Cavs 126-124. Spurs over the Thunder again 117-102. Warriors over the Mavs 126-116. Rockets over the Lakers 119-96. And the Nuggets over the Timberwolves 142-138 in overtime. All right, 9 games tonight. 7 o'clock. Hawks hosting the Heat. My line is the Hawks by 5. And it is 3.5, 247.5 total, so I like the under. Hornets Magic, I have the Magic 5.5, and it's 6 and 230.5. I like the over. Raptors Wizards, I have the Raptors by 5, and it's 7.5, 225.5. I like the Wizards getting the points. Celtics Pacers, I have the Celtics 5.25, 8.5, 221.5. I'll take Indiana getting the points. I just think that's high. 7:30 on Prime Video. Sixers Bulls. My line's the Bulls by 1. And it's Sixers 1.5, total 239. I'll give you the Bulls plus the points and plus 104 to win. Bucks Grizzlies at 8. My line is the Grizzlies 5.75. And it is 5.5, 228.5. I'll take the over. Suns Pelicans, I have the Pelicans 4.5 or 4.75, and it's Suns 5.5 total, 230.5. I like the Pelicans getting the 5 and hook and plus 180 outright. There's a lot of injuries on the Suns right now. I don't know why the Suns are that big of a favorite. 9:30 Pistons Jazz. I have the Pistons by 11. It's 10 and 244.5. I'll take the under. And last but not least, 10 o'clock on Prime Video. Clippers Blazers. My line's the Clippers by 2, and it is 1 and 226.5. I'll take the over. Okay, Saturday. Big slate Saturday. 5 o'clock NBA TV. Mavs Kings. 7 o'clock Nuggets Magic. Suns Pelicans. 8 o'clock NBA TV. Knicks Hawks. Pacers Heat. Bucks Bulls. Cavs Rockets. Nets Timberwolves. Jazz Spurs. And then Sunday, 3:30 Warriors Raptors. Sixers Thunder. 6 o'clock Grizzlies Wizards. Celtics Blazers. 9 o'clock Pistons Clippers. And 9:30 Kings Lakers. Okay, now we'll move on to the NHL. We will hit on the games from Tuesday, and then we'll look ahead to the weekend. All right, Tuesday, Leafs over the Penguins 6-3, Red Wings over the Stars 4-3 in overtime, Habs over the Bruins 6-2, Rangers over the Caps 7-3, Sabres over the Sens 3-2 OT, Isles over the Devils 2-1. Panthers over the Canes 5-2. Preds over the Wild 3-2 OT. Flyers over the Blackhawks 3-1. Avs over the Mammoth 1-0. Oilers over the Flames 5-1. Golden Knights over the Sharks 7-2. And the Kraken over the Kings 3-2. We're not going to do picks because these games are over the weekend. All right, Saturday 6 o'clock. Rangers Islanders 7 o'clock. Bruins Sabres Sens Leafs. Lightning Panthers Caps Devils. Red Wings Hurricanes, Wild Jets, 8 o'clock Preds Blues, Blackhawks Stars, 9 o'clock Ducks Kings, 10 o'clock Oilers Flames, Sharks Canucks, and Avs Golden Knights. A lot of big games in the Metro Division and the Eastern Conference, let alone on Saturday. So that's awesome. They're all bunched together too. And then Sunday, 5 o'clock, Habs Lightning, Isles Jackets, 7 o'clock Leafs Red Wings, Penguins Blackhawks, and 8 o'clock on NHL Network is the Flyers and the Kraken. Okay, now move on to college basketball. Soccer. We'll go over results from the last couple of days and look ahead to today and the weekend. I forgot I had soccer ahead of college basketball on the show. So Tuesday, Carabao Cup, Arsenal, Crystal Palace 1-1 draw. Arsenal advances 8-7 on penalties. Africa Cup of Nations, Congo DR over Benin 1-0. Senegal over Botswana 3-0. Nigeria over Tunisia 2-1. And Tunisia over Uganda 3-1. All right, Christmas Eve, Africa Cup of Nations. Burkina Faso over Equatorial Guinea 2-1. Algeria over Sudan 3-0. Ivory Coast over Mozambique 1-0. Cameroon over Gabon 1-0. And then Christmas Day, yesterday, the Pro League, Al Faya Al Hazim 0-0 draw. Al Edifak over Al Raida 2-0. And Niamey SC over Al Najma 2-1. ELC's all going on right now. Coventry City, Swansea City, Leicester City, Watford, Middlesbrough, Blackburn, Norwich City, Charlton Athletic, Oxford, Southampton, Portsmouth, Queen's Park, Sheffield Wednesday, Hull City, Stoke City, Preston, West Brom, Bristol City, and Wrexham, Sheffield United. It's the last game. That's 12:30. And two finals. Birmingham City, Derby County, 1-1 draw, and Millwall, Ipswich Town, 0-0 draw. And in Cup of Nations, Angola, Zimbabwe, 1-1 draw. Egypt, South Africa going on now. I'm going to squeeze some picks in here. Why not? 12:30, Zambia and Comoros. Zambia plus 140, Comoros plus 230, draw plus 190. I'm going Zambia plus 140. And 3 o'clock, Morocco, Mali. Morocco minus 230, Mali plus 650, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with over 2.5 goals at plus 120. And in the Pro League, we have one final. Fateh over Al Ali 2-1. Going on now is Al Khalud and Al Tawoon. And 12:30 is Al Halal and Al Halij. I'm going to go under 3.5 goals for that one. And in EPL today, at 3 o'clock, Man United, Newcastle. Each team's plus 160, draw plus 260. I'm going to go with the draw at plus 260. All right, Saturday, 7:30, Nottingham, Man City on USA. 10 o'clock on USA, Arsenal, Brighton, and Hove. On Peacock, Brentford, AFC Bournemouth. On Peacock, also Burnley, Everton. NBC, Ascendant, Peacock, Liverpool, Wolverhampton. On Peacock, West Ham, and Fulham. And 12:30 on the big NBC, Chelsea, Aston Villa. Syria, 6:30, Parma, Fiorentina. 9 o'clock, Lecce, Como, Torino, Cagliari. 12 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, Udinese, Lazio. And 2:45 on CBS Sports Network, Pisa and Juventus. Africa Cup of Nations, 7:30, Benin and Botswana. 10 o'clock, Senegal, Congo, DR. 12:30, Uganda, Tunisia. And 3 o'clock, Nigeria and Tunisia. The Pro League, 8 o'clock, Al Qadisa and Damak. At 8, 9:50, Al Nasser, Al Akdod. And 12:30, Al Ittihad and Al Shabab. Scottish Premiership, 7:30, Hibernian Hearts. 10 o'clock, Dundee, Falkirk, Livingston Celtic. Rangers, Motherwell, St. Mirren, Kilmarnock. And 12:45, Aberdeen and Dundee United. And then Sunday, EPL, 9 o'clock, USA, Sunderland, Leeds, and 11:30 on USA, Crystal Palace, Tottenham. Serie A, 6:30, AC Milan, Verona. 9 o'clock, Cremonese, Napoli. 12 o'clock, Bologna, Sassuolo. And 2:45, Atalanta, Inter. Africa Cup of Nations, 7:30, Gabon and Mozambique. 10 o'clock, Equatorial Guinea and Sudan. 12:30, Algeria and Burkina Faso. And 3 o'clock, Ivory Coast and Cameroon. And then Monday, Serie A, 2:45, AS Roma, Genoa. ELC's a big one, though. Africa Cup of Nations, 11 o'clock, Angola, Egypt, Zimbabwe, South Africa, 2 o'clock, Comoros, Mali, and Zambia, Morocco. Pro League, 9:30, Al Khaleej and Al Fateh, 12:30, Al Raida, Al Hazim, and Al Taloon and Al Najma. Portuguese Prima Lima is FC Porto and AVS. So, there you have it for soccer. College basketball, we will touch on all the games for the weekend. So only 3 games Saturday. Oh wait, we have results from Tuesday. Let's do that first. Campbell over Green Bay 102-79, Army over Binghamton 95-85 OT, Kentucky over Bellarmine 99-85, Ohio State over Grambling 89-63, UCF over FAU 85-80, Missouri State over Lindenwood 75-60 or 70-65, UCLA over UC Riverside 97-65. Bakersfield over Idaho 64-63. Loyola Marymount over Morgan State 83-56. St. John's over Harvard 85-59. And Villanova over Seton Hall 64-56. Only 3 games on Saturday, but only one of them is relevant. 8 o'clock ACC Network. Cal State Northridge and Stanford. Sunday's a little busier. 2 o'clock TNT Winthrop, number 15 Texas Tech. It's a lot of non-Division 1. Yale Monroe, Kansas State, Columbia, North Florida, Lemoyne, BC, Harvard, Colgate, Liberty, FIU, 2:30 ACC Extra, Florida A&M, Georgia Tech, 3 o'clock Norfolk State, Louisiana, Northern Colorado, not a bad game, by the way. ACC Extra, Fullerton, SMU, 4 o'clock Charleston Southern, Richmond, 5 o'clock Wazoo, Portland, Penn, George Mason, 6 o'clock Santa Clara, Oregon State, Pacific, San Diego, Old Dominion, Maryland on Big Ten Network, 7 o'clock St. Mary's, LMU, 8 o'clock number 7 Gonzaga, Pepperdine, also 8 o'clock San Fran, Seattle, and 8 o'clock on the Big Ten Network, Omaha and Oregon. So, and then Monday we have some afternoon games, but we'll get to those on Monday's show. Now we'll do on this day from the past couple of days. So Christmas Eve, 2016, Derek Carr fractures his leg. 2015, Nats signed Daniel Murphy away from the Mets. 2014, Pitt hires Pat Narduzzi. Last year, Fernando Mendoza transfers to Indiana. 2016, Browns are first win of the season. 2017, Browns clinch first pick in the 2018 draft. 2023, Lions clinch first NFC North title. 2020, Nats acquire Josh Bell. 2013, Masahiro Tanaka posted for MLB teams. 2023, Amari Cooper totals 265 yards. Why is it all about the Browns on Christmas Eve? And then 2014, Rockets signed Josh Smith. That was after he got cut by the Pistons. And 2012, Chuck Pagano returns to the Colts after a cancer battle. Christmas Day, not a lot. 2024, Jimmy Butler prefers trade. 2020, Alvin Kamara scored 6 touchdowns. 2023, Luka Doncic posts first 50-point Christmas game in 39 years. 2017, Eagles clinch number 1 seed. 2023, Raiders stun Chiefs on Christmas. I remember that. In 2019, the White Sox signed Edwin Encarnacion. And then I forgot what year it was. It was that report that came out that James Harden wanted to go to the Rockets. I just, when he was on Philly, I want to say that was 2022. Maybe it wasn't 23, but I think it was in 22. It was 22. And then on this day, today, 2023, Pistons extend losing streak to 27. Enough with this freaking Pistons losing streak. We get it. They weren't good then. They're the 1 seed now. Been saying it every day. 2022, Broncos fired Nathaniel Hackett. He was not even one and done. 2024, Jim Larinaga steps down as coach of the Miami Hurricanes. Basketball. 2014, Devils fire Peter DeBoer. 2018, Justin Herbert returning to Oregon for 2019. 2021, Joe Burrow throws for 525 yards. 2024 Red Wings hire Todd McClellan. Turned out to be a good hire. 2020 Bucks clinch first playoff berth in 13 years. That was with Tom Brady. 2013 Aaron Rodgers returning from broken collarbone. 2023 TJ Hawkinson tears his ACL and MCL. 2024 Luka Doncic out at least 1 month. And then the trade ended up happening. That's why that's a big deal. And in 2015, Redskins clinch NFC East title. That was the year they won the NFC East with Kirk Cousins. So there you have it for on this day. Now we'll do the news and notes for today. We'll try to be quick. Josh Allen will be ready to play, according to Sean McDermott. Says his foot soreness has dissipated throughout the week. So a Jets season ticket holder was disqualified from attempting a field goal challenge on Sunday as he canceled the kick. And then it turns out the fan can kick for $100,000 as the team reverses course after unfortunate misunderstanding regarding eligibility for contests. Aaron Judge wants Cody Bellinger back as he's a big advocate for him. The Yankees have checked in on Austin Hayes in case they lose out on bringing back Bellinger. JJ Redick slams the Lakers again. He said, "I'm not doing another 53 games like this." He's right. I don't blame him. That was a really bad loss for them. And he said the team takes shortcuts. Texas running back Quintiveron Wisner enters the transfer portal. Ole Miss quarterback Chambliss is trying to get that 6th year, which is crazy. Trinidad Chambliss. Michigan is eyeing former Utah coach Kyle Whittingham. He's emerged as the focus of the opening. Jeff Brom not speaking on other jobs despite being involved in Michigan's coaching search. Tommy Castellanos declares for the draft. I don't know if he's even going to be drafted. James Harden's in trade rumors. That's been a big deal. Lamar Jackson's doubtful against the Packers, as we discussed earlier. TJ Watt is practicing limited ahead of the Browns game. We'll see. TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Mason we both missed that game against the Lions. The Rams may hold Davante Adams out with eyes on a postseason return due to the hamstring injury. Josh Johnson started yesterday against the Cowboys. A.J. Brown DNP on Wednesday as he had his wisdom teeth out. Brock Bowers out for the year due to the knee injury. Being focused for 100% next season's the goal. And you know they sat him here because they're trying for that number 1 overall pick. If I'm the Giants, I counter and start Russell Wilson. Justin Fields placed on IR due to the knee injury. I think that's just a soft benching kind of thing, but maybe he is really hurt. Knicks unlikely to get Dante DiVincenzo as Josh Hart or Mitchell Robinson would likely be in a package for him. Bucks looking to be buyers to get Giannis more depth. Tyler Soderstrom to resign with the Athletics on a record 7-year, $86 million extension. Marlins signed Pete Fairbanks 1 year, $13 million. Brooks Koepka to leave the Live in 2026. That's big golf news. DK Metcalf's suspension upheld as he'll miss the rest of the regular season after the confrontation with the fan against the Lions. Denzel Boston opts for the draft, the Washington wideout. Utah signs a Spanish prospect, Lucas Langarita, expected to play for the Utes men's team in coming weeks. Ex-draft pick enrolls in college basketball. 2023 first rounder James Najee immediately eligible to play for Baylor. That's crazy. Austin Reeves did not return last night against the Rockets due to left calf soreness. AD had a groin injury, so he was out for the rest of the Christmas matchup against Golden State. Cam Johnson has a bone bruise. He's to miss some time. Luka came back last night. Jason Tatum determined to play. Hasn't been ruled out to return this season. It's been a big deal. Bill Simmons has been talking about it on his show. Cam Johnson, of course, to have MRI. We talked about that already. The Titans are also doing the research on Marcus Freeman, as the Giants are not the only team with interest in him. And then Max Crosby dismisses draft talk as he does not give a shit about the number one pick ahead of matchup against the Giants. Benching Tua Tagovailoa was Mike McDaniel's call. Joe Burrow hasn't asked for a trade as he has not given or has not received any indication he wants out. Andy Reid, unsure if Kelsey will be playing in his last game at Arrowhead, or at this point has. That was going into the game. And then Davis Webb has a ton of juice heading into the 2026 coaching cycle. That's the Broncos offensive coordinator. Offensive pass game coordinator and quarterbacks coach. So he's been coaching up Bo Nix really good. That's why he's getting a lot of buzz. So there you have it for the news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I am going to go with the college bowl game total for today. I adore the over. 43.5 the number was. In the New Mexico-Minnesota game. That is very low. So I'm going to go over 43.5, Minnesota, New Mexico. Wouldn't be surprised if that's done in the third quarter. So there you have it for, actually no, I lied again, Fab 5. Like I said earlier in the show, I think it's very hard to put together a Fab 5 for this week. Obviously last week was a dream week. I went 5-0 and hit the money line again. So that happened twice in the past couple of weeks, so that's pretty exciting. So without further ado, here we go. And part of me is somewhat regretting not including Christmas games, but that's okay. There's a lot of uncertainty with backup quarterbacks and whatnot. All right. First up in the Fab 5, yours truly is going to go with the over 34.5 in Steelers Browns. I don't know why it's that low. And I just think that the Steelers offense are going to put some points in maybe. And I think the Browns offense showed a little bit of life against the Bills last week. So I like that over. Pick number 2. I absolutely adore the Panthers plus 7.5 against the Seahawks. I just think that they're always playing up the competition and down to bad competition. Like, if they're playing the Giants, they'd lose. If they'd be playing a team like this, they'd win. Pick number 3, my other favorite pick of the week, the Bengals -7 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals have a ton of injuries, and I think that Joe Burrow is me playing with the chip on his shoulder after the rough Ravens game, and then he played really good against the Dolphins. I'm stuck between a couple. Pick number 4. I am going to go and take a flyer on the Titans of Tennessee, who looked good last week against the Chiefs, or respectable. And now they're playing a team in the Saints that you could argue is on the same level as the Okun-led Chiefs on offense. So I'm going to take the chance here at Tennessee plus the 2.5. And the last pick of the Fab 5, I'm going to go with an under. And that is going to be in the Bears 49ers game. I just think that the total 52.5 is way too high. In my underdog money line of the week, I'm gonna parlay. I'm gonna parlay 2 dogs to win straight up. The Tennessee Titans, and then the pathetic Las Vegas Raiders, who won't be playing with Max Crosby or Brock Bowers, and they did this so they could intentionally lose to the Giants, but not so fast. I think the Giants are trying to lose just as much. And I do think there's a world where the Giants randomly decide to sit Jackson Dart. Just like how the Patriots sat Drake May in the last game of the season last year. I know it didn't work out for them, but I think the Giants might do that here in the game against Dallas with Jackson Dart. So Titans and the Raiders plus 410 to win outright, both as the underdogs of plus 126. So combine them plus 410 against the Giants and the Saints, respectively. So there you have it for the show, and we'll be back on Monday recapping everything and look at everything on Monday as well. Have a great weekend, everyone.